Hello world, welcome to the 234th video on my channel where I'm building my own digital assistant named Shane, like Jarvis from the Iron Man movies and comics. This is the second part of trying to build my own city in City Skylines 2. And so we're going to start off at the end of part 1, which you can watch here, where we imported a height map, imported our world map, and now we are looking at the overlay using the image overlay mod. And I could show you Control O, and then that's how you get the image overlay. So there are two boxes being drawn that I will show you real quick. So this is the outer edge of the possible plane, and this white one is the starting map right here. This is the one you're going to start off with when we save it. And so this video is going to go over the minimum requirements you need to create a map. Now, just starting off, I live in Shreveport, Bossier City, Louisiana, and it is very flat, extremely flat. Like, we are at sea level and we have some standing water. And so to play this city will be relatively easy. I won't have to do, actually, I'm not planning on doing a lot of smoothing out and leveling out. If you want a more detailed video on how to really start working and having a playable map with all the requirements, I'm going to leave a link in description to a YouTube channel called Old Boar, and he has much more detailed videos on how to do this. This video is just for a quick start, minimum viable requirements to get a map. And so what are those minimum requirements? So we're going to go to map, and then we're going to scroll down to checklist. And so these are the required ones, right? The minimum required to create your own map. So right now it says select starting tiles. That's automatically started for you right here. And so the next one, have surface or groundwater in the starting area, have an outside road connection, give your map a name. So those are the 4 minimum requirements. If you want to see way more, then please go check out another YouTube channel. I'll leave a link in the description to Old Boar. So I like to do North American real quick. And so the map name, I'm just going to name it. It doesn't matter. Let's go SBC test 2. Okay, so starting year 2024. None of that else matters to me. And so now you can see that the check mark is give your map a name. All right, so that has been completed. So the next one is have an outside road connection. So the outside road connection doesn't mean this one in your starting tile, I don't believe. That, or also would say starting area. So what we're going to do is start down here. This is the 20 right here. And so what we're going to do is add a starting road. So let's go here to this box right here, the add object. And now let's filter it by road. Oops. Let's go road with an R. Okay, click off of it. And now we have different options on what to create with. So let's go, this is a highway or an interstate. So it is 2 lanes, but actually it is a 2-way with 2 lanes. So we are going to select this one. I mean, there are bends in this, but nothing too extreme. So I'm just going to do the straight, just because, again, this is just the minimum viable requirements. This isn't, I'm going to spend a lot more time creating this. And so we're going to start here and then go to right here and then right here, right here. Let's make it right there, right there, right there. And then I'm just going to right click. Okay. So now let's press Control O again. And as you can see, we have our road here, right? So actually this is only 2 lanes. I should have used 4 lanes. But regardless, so that is our 2 lanes. Let's take a look at what happens here though. So right off the back, due to the elevation, this kind of cut into the elevation here. And then when we go to here, where there is a river, you can see that I believe it is, right, something is wrong here, right? That doesn't look good to me. So that's something to be aware of as you're doing this, is to get the elevation. You see this right here. Okay, so now let's go to map, and let's scroll down to the checklist. And now we can see we have an outside road connection. So when you start the game, it will know that there is an outside road connection here. Okay, so even though that's not in our starting tile, which you probably want to do, we still have met the minimum thing. So let's do that again. I'm going to draw this Benton Road here. And this is a highway with 2 lanes this time. I'm going to start here, you know, relatively straight lines here to about right there, and then there. And there we go. We have a nice 2-lane highway starting in our thing. Now, to be fair, this is also a highway 4 lanes as well. So, and you can just go to, if you're drawing a city that you're not familiar with, so this is a freeway right here. So this is 4 lanes with a center here. And the one we just drew this is a 2-lane highway again. So Louisiana is confusing with how it confuses its roads and its streets and its highways, but regardless. So going back to our map, we have met here the have an outside road connection. Now we're going to go to water here, and let's bring in our overlay. Now when we go back to map, the checklist item says have surface or groundwater in the starting area. So as you can see, there is no water here. So we're going to flood this area so the water just crests in here. But what I would do is use your starting tiles to, like I clicked here, select starting tiles here. So you see how there's little bits of water. That's what I would do too. So, but we're just going to flood this area just in case your starting tiles is the middle of your map. So there's plenty of ways to do this. There is constant rate water sources, constant level water sources, border river water sources, and border sea. So I'm going to show you the border river just in case that's what you're starting with. So go ahead and click here. It's not going to matter. Add item, quickly click over here. Okay, so we move that there. Let's press Control O real quick, and you can kind of see what it's doing, right? It's bleeding out here, and we can expand this right here by clicking here, and you can see that the radius is 50, right? When we click here, this is the border right here, and this is a river, and so we just put our starting area here. So the height is at 93 elevation. And let's see what it's really going to do by changing the water simulation speed. So let's change that. Since I clicked on there, it initially flooded that area, but that's not what we want. And as you can see, it is filling in this area right here. And this is based off of the elevation in your elevation map. But this is the hard part of running a map, and I suggest that you go to that old board channel as he goes way in depth into this. But so by having the radius at 50 and the height at 93, you can see that it's bleeding over way past what the water is really doing on our overlay. So if we change that height to, let's say, I like to do even amounts, but let's go 50. Now you can see it changes how the water is done here. And now this place is all flooded, if you will, because I changed the radius. And now this water is here. So the things you do kind of makes permanent changes. But now this is dried up here, and now it is not big enough. So you can go height of, let's do 70, and then click off of it and see what that does. See if that's any better. And you can click the topography off if you just want to see it like that. Yeah, that's nowhere near what we would really need to match our city. So let's go back to 80. And see what that does. All right, so that's the water on the rivers in the border. But if we go to our starting tiles and go to map, it will say that we have not marked this off. So my starting tiles has a no water in this area, but we're going to put a little water anyways. So we're going to go back to water, constant level water. And we're going to move this way over here. And then we're going to go radius. We're going to change this to 5. And then height to 5. Click off. And I bet this is already flooded because I did it too slow. But let's check. So we're clicking here. Control O. Nope, it wasn't that bad yet. Let's go water simulation here. There we go. That's starting to fill in very slowly. And let's see if that triggered the water enough. Now, in real life, this does not have any water in it, but let's see what our map looks like. Oh, there we go. That has enough surface water in that corner to have an outside road, or to give it the surface or groundwater in the starting area. So now that we have all 4 items of the minimum requirements, I highly recommend that you do these other ones. But now we can save map, name the file what you want, SBC test 2, and then save. Okay, now you can exit the editor. Now new game. Custom maps, SBC test 2, select map, it doesn't matter, start game, and now this is our starting map right here. And we have that little bit of water. So that is it. So that is the minimum viable requirements for a city. If you are going to start playing it, you have to strike a careful balance of how many roads you pre-install in the editor before you play, because this, the cost of the roads will start hitting your gameplay immediately. And so just be aware, if you're going to do all the roads in your entire city everywhere, just know that that's going to affect your funding levels. So I hope this is helpful to somebody who's going to start their own map. This is not what I'm going to start playing with. I am going to do most of the roads in my starting tile and then clear up all the rivers and have a solid map. These were just tests for my YouTube channel. In my next video, I'm going to try to complete a whole map, and then, or at least the starting tiles, and then we will actually play the tutorial together. So I hope this helps. Please leave a comment on which city you're trying to create, and thanks for watching. Goodbye, world.